Hi everyone, just a really quick video today. Didn't get everything finished that I intended to get finished because I spent a good portion of this afternoon breaking up a shower screen and a hand basin and putting it in the general waste bin. It now weighs a ton, but it will be liftable by the truck, so yeah. I'll know Friday morning when I'm in bed and I hear those hydraulics straining. So anyway, so I got all the corners all finished right in the corners there. So that all worked out really good. I went around the entire cornice and cleaned it up. Got any little smears and things off the cornice that sort of made it look messy. So it looks really clean now. Also, that corner, got that really good. I know it's real hard to see, guys. Like I said, I didn't plan to film tonight, but that's all been repaired in the corner there. That's good to go. So all this now can have a coat of paint, just some undercoat. I think I've got some old sealing white in the shed, and I think that'll work good for an undercoat. I've used it before and it seems to do a really good job. What else? Okay, this cornice up here. Same deal. Went along, cleaned it up. Any little smears and things that were along the side and the bottom edge, fixed all that up. Anything that was on the concave, the cornice, cleaned all that up too. Finished the sanding here on this join. Pretty happy with it. You know, like I've mentioned in the past, you know, I've got plasterboard from two different eras, you know, imperial and metric, and there's a slight variation. There's not a lot you can do with it. Like, there isn't any packer, say masonite stripping, that you can use that's thin enough to go behind the new board to bring it out slightly, because then it's too much. If you had a lot of really thin cornflake packet cardboard, you could probably chop up a cornflake box and use that, but it would just take forever. It would take forever to pack the whole wall out, you know, using cornflake packet cardboard. So we've done the wall. The cornice, where it's joined, I have to feather that in as well because it's not quite a perfect fit. Again, metric imperial. So, but yeah, that's wet at the moment. All this, so all around the doorway, above the doorway, and down this wall is now all sanded and finished. It's smooth. The insides of the door jamb, I haven't done them yet. And the reason I haven't done them is because I need to put the reinforcement strip on these sides. But I can't do that until I take this piece of plasterboard out. And I can't take that out until I cut the concrete slab in that room. I don't want all the dust coming in here, all the concrete dust. So that's going to remain, and later on, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks away, maybe a week away, I'm not sure, I'll get that on and finish it once the slab's been cut, and then that's done. So I'm at the point now where I can actually install architrave along the bottoms here, basically a finished wall. The roof was an interesting one today. First time to sand it, and I had some really good spots and I had some really bad spots. Obviously the roof undulates right along, as I mentioned, where you can see all these screw holes. Somebody had cut the I guess they're battens. They cut them off at that midpoint there. So for, I don't know, 40 years, there hasn't really been much supporting this section of roof here. So it's probably sagged a little over the 40 years. So what I did is I did bring in the electric sander and use the electric sander to take the top off it, and I tried to leave a little on there, and then what I did is I got my my hand sanding board and I went over it with that, because I can actually do a longer stroke and keep that board flat over a bigger area. So this is an amateur talking, by the way. Plasterers will take you to do it a completely different way. They've probably got a sander that's like a metre long. So I don't. I'm just doing it with a little 20 centimetre one. But it's, I've used it on the entire house, so it's worked all right. So what I did is, once I was happy with what I'd done in the way of taking the top off those 3 layers of plaster that I'd put on there, that wet plaster, I've gone over it again. So I used my big applicator, and what I noticed as well, because the roof tends to slope, where the joint is, the roof tends to slope down a little bit. I've brought the plaster out a little bit further this time, away from where the joint is, so I can start feathering it in from further out here, and just make a nice little transition. Even if it's got a very slight curve to it, I have to sort of like manipulate it to get it flat. That's what I'll do, but I think I've got enough plaster on there now to be able to do that. So I've got to say I'm happy at this point in time with the way it's come up. But like with every wall or every ceiling repair that I've ever done, it's not just a matter of 3 coats, sand it and you're done. It's always the little imperfections you've got to go over and repair. So yeah, I might be able to show you this. I was going to show you the other night. So let's get this torch happening. So that's where I took the ceiling fan out, and I've patched it. I haven't sanded it yet. I'm not going to really do any sanding in here. That's where the light came out of. But I've left a power cable there, and I got another 2 cables there for the switch. So yeah, so I've got what I needed. Had to smash out all of this to see where these cables in the wall went. These were the original cables for the switch for this bathroom. What a mess. So I've tidied all that up now, worked out what cables went where and where we were drawing a feed from. So I know where the feed's coming from to power the main cable up there, and I know where that other cable's going. That's going in through the top there, and that's coming down the wall to supply power to this switch for the lighting in here. So yeah, it's been interesting. I wouldn't have wired it that way, to be honest. And I don't like running power cables through walls. I'd rather take it straight up the wall and have my cables inside the roof. So if ever I've got to get up there and I want to put another light in or an extension, I've got complete accessibility to the cable, and I can cut it up in the roof and join it, and I don't have any issues. When everything's like stuffed through wall cavities, you can't get to it. Like, I don't know why that one goes through there. If it was me, you've got the switch wire going up the wall, I would have just taken that switch wire, and taken that up the wall, put it through the top plate, ran it along the top plate, and then ran it down this wall again. Yeah, it's just messy. So, as you can see, I've moved some furniture around again. I had to do that when I was sanding. I needed a bit more space here, and yeah, but you can see now the difference in the bedroom, width-wise. So, you know, the bed and the drawers always worked on that wall, but now we've got the wardrobe there, so it's obviously tighter there. So it will go back on that wall. We'll come around and be set up there, and as you know, that window will get taken out and all bricked in and plastered, and then that window goes in the front there. So yeah, I'd say, I don't know, an hour tomorrow morning, and I'm hoping that we're done in here for now, and then we'll start on the bathroom and get some bathroom stuff done. So the plan this week, when we finally get in here, or I get in here, is to remove the remainder of these floor tiles. I'm going to start removing the tiles here on the wall around the shower area. Leave my taps in place, because when I'm cutting that concrete slab, I'm going to need a water supply to try and keep it wet, keep the dust to a minimum. And we might even, I sort of don't see the point, but I can cut that plaster down along the door frame there and remove what few tiles are on that side, and then obviously what few tiles are behind this door here, and I can do a neat job and cut along the corners here and remove all the rest of that plasterboard. But again, it comes down to where I'm going to put it, and what is it today? Tuesday, so the bin doesn't get empty till Friday morning, and if I pull it out now, I've got nowhere to put it. So yeah, so we'll keep dabbling with a few things in here, and hopefully by Friday morning we're ready to go on the bathroom. So I'll leave it here, guys. Cheers, see you in the next episode.